I don't want a lot for Christmas because I live in a van and I have nowhere to put anything. But if you need gift ideas for yourself or for your van life loved one, then this video is my gift to you. Welcome to Jodie's Ultimate Van Life Gift Guide. I got tons of recommendations of stuff that I have bought and I use and I love and I find really useful, whether that's because it's space saving, because it gets me out of a bad situation sometimes, or it's just a really useful thing to have in a van. Let's begin with the really specific van things. I've actually set up this website where I've listed loads of different items with US and UK links, so I'll pop that up here and in the description, and then you can find the items if you're in either country. That seems to be where most of my subscribers are from. So it's currently winter and I got a few things that are really helpful in a van in winter, because you get a lot of moisture in the front, in the cab. So this little pouch, this is by Pingy. There were other versions out there. This is the one that my mechanics told me to get, and it is really good. And I think they're quite new. I haven't really seen them before, like this year now I see them everywhere. It's basically a moisture absorber. You put it in the cab, just anywhere that it has space around it, and it absorbs moisture in the air, which really reduces how much condensation that you get on your windscreen, which is a big problem in vans because you're breathing, you're cooking in the back. I have a full bulkhead, but I still get condensation in the front. I think it just comes in through vents in the front, regardless of me being, you know, sectioned off anyway. But these are really, really helpful and they're dirt cheap. But it doesn't completely solve the problem. So I also have one of these. This is a window vac. This is a knockoff from Toolstation, but the official one is often on offer on Amazon. This comes off, so you can, you know, store it easily. And it's basically a vacuum cleaner for water. So you just slide this across your windscreen and it sucks up all the moisture, and then you open this little hole here and then you pour it out. And it's really, really good, because trying to get that moisture off the windscreen, and these are really large windscreens in a van, takes a really long time, and I can be ready to drive off in about 10 seconds using this. Game changer. Another item I find myself using a lot in winter is this. It's like a really long extending squeegee ice scraper thing, and that extends to there. So as a short person, this allows me to brush the snow, the water, the ice, etc. off all of my windscreen, because without it I can reach about 10% of my windscreen. And yeah, then it just packs away all into this little bag, and I keep that underneath the seats in the front of the van, which is ideal. I've recently been having some problems with my battery not wanting to start when it's cold. But luckily, last year, I bought one of these. This is a jump start pack. It tells you how much charge it's got. It's also got a torch, so you can, you know, see where you're attaching it. Basically, if you've got a flat battery, it won't start. You just plug this into there. You put these on your battery, and then you start your engine, and it miraculously starts, which is really good if there's nobody around to give you a jump start, because that's a faff. I have used this 5 times this week, because I've not had a very good week with my battery, which has now been replaced. If you get one of these for somebody, make sure it is the right one for their vehicle. I have a 2-litre engine. This is a 2-litre pack. I wish I bought the 3-litre one, because sometimes this still struggles. So definitely go higher than what the engine is for. But yeah, these are worth every penny. And just for fun, I bought this recently and I am obsessed. It's a tiny little record player. And the air blows through when your fans are on for the heating, and then it just spins your favourite record. And obviously I bought the entire Taylor Swift collection, because, you know, Swiftie. But yeah, you can get these on eBay for like next to nothing. They're so cute. I love it. You can get other albums. It doesn't have to be Taylor Swift. you can buy other music too. 2 more things that I'm not actually going to show you here, but a toe strap. Again, never know when you're going to need it, but when you do, you wish you had one with you already. And levelers. So I have some, but they're really dirty, so I don't want to bring them back into this space. But they're basically like little cheese wedges that you can drive your van onto if you're on a slope. They're really handy to have, but again, you want to buy a good size for your van. I have really small ones for my small van that I haven't upgraded, and sometimes I just push them into the mud rather than level up. So yeah, just get the ones the right size for the van and you'll be good. And the tow strap, make sure that that is suitable for the weight of the van. Most large vans go up to 3.5 tons legally, so unless they've got an oversized vehicle, 3.5 tons should be plenty to cover your back. Oh, one more I nearly forgot. This is my emergency water tank. It's 20 litres and it actually folds up, and I've got it open so I've been trying to just dry it out. But like, it folds up to this. And that just lives in my boot, and if something happens, like you hit your water tank on the ground with it open and you don't have any running water for 2 weeks, this gets you out of a right pickle. The attachment on it is like a little tap, so I just put this on my surface next to my sink and basically turn the tap on, and again, it's one of those when you need it you wish you already had it. But if you've got a smaller camper and you just need water with you for a trip, that's also a really ideal way of storing it. Alright, let's look at some kitchen items. I want to start off with this because it's already out. This is a silicone drying mat. Don't know what I'm doing with it. It's got these little ridges, not very clean, sorry, but it's got these little ridges on, and the water kind of just drains through and it all collects on one corner, and then to drain it you just like lift up the corners real carefully and you just tip the whole thing into the sink. So all that water is gone back into the system. You haven't got to like let it evaporate, right, and fill up your whole space with condensation, which is really good. And then I just like roll it up and then I put it in this drawer. And it's honestly so handy, because obviously you're still washing up. I don't want a clunky, great big metal wooden draining board. I don't want to put it on tea towels because then I've got to dry them and then it adds moisture into the air. So that just like eliminates the water straight back into the sink. So useful. So when it comes to like eating, I have a set of 4 of these plates and 4 of these bowls, and I love them because they look like ceramic, but they're plastic, and they have this like glazed effect, and it just, you know, it doesn't feel like camping when I'm in my van, but I don't want anything that's breakable. So these are just so ideal, because all the plastic ones, most of the plastic ones on the market, they look really cheap. They're like, they fade as soon as you like cut things on them. They're like basically designed for picnics in the garden with the kids. These have been in like heavy rotation, everyday use, 18 months. Still look good as new. Excellent. Would recommend every day of the week. Another star buy for the kitchen is these mugs. I think these are again a rip-off of a more expensive version, but they are perfect because they're double insulated. So you can put cold drinks in them and they stay cold, or you can put hot drinks in them and they stay hot. So this is a glass and a mug in one. Even comes with little lids, which sort of, yeah, silicone edge on with a little sippy hole. So if you want to take a drink with you into the cab for driving, or out on a walk, or just around the van and you're worried about spilling it, perfect. These are one of the first things I bought, and I bought them for other people in vans and they've been like, yeah, these are amazing, changed my life. Yeah, they're great. You can buy different colours as well. I just like the white ones. I'm also a big fan of the enamel mug, because you can just put your hot water or your soup or any kind of meal, I guess, that will fit in here, straight onto the hob, cook it, use your little oven gloves to put it onto a little hot plate, and then you haven't got to do any washing up, which is always a win. Okay, more kitchen things for you. This looks like a cast iron casserole dish, but it's light as a feather. It's cast aluminium, and it's by, I think it's Masterclass. Yeah, Masterclass. So good. If I want to make like a big stew or just a large portion of anything, I use this. I can do my batch cooking. It's like super lightweight compared to cast iron, which I would just never have in here because of the weight of it, like in a drawer. No thanks. It's got these fun little, not fun, It's got these handy little nodules on the lid so that the condensation drips back into the pot and not all round onto your hob, which is also great. I can flip the lid, store that fairly slim line in my drawer, and it's non-stick, which is also amazing. And I'll talk about that more in a second because it seems to be somewhat controversial. Because on that subject, I've got these Teflon dishes and they are amazing because, I mean, this is all of my pans. Like, look at the space that takes up because the handle is detachable, and you can buy other versions of this with detachable handles. But the reason that I went with the Teflon set, because they are unrivaled for non-stickiness. And I'll explain why this is important in a van. Like, I don't have mains running water, right? I've got my tap that's coming from my water tank, and it's really hard to get water on the road. It's the most difficult thing to get hold of, here in the UK at least. And also, the water tanks tend to come with fixtures about this wide, so everything that goes down my sink is going down a really small hole, and I don't want any bits. I don't want any grease, I don't want any sauce, onions, like any food getting down my drain. So there's a lot of things I do to prevent that as much as I can, and one of them is having pots that as soon as I finish cooking, before I even eat, I take a piece of kitchen roll and I basically just clean it with that, so I get the majority of the sauce, the grease, the fat, the oil off of that pan, and then it's not going down the sink. And that's really important because otherwise your whole plumbing system just kaput. Now, I know there are issues with Teflon, I'm aware of them, and you can agree with me or not, that's entirely up to you. And they are great performers. I've tried all the eco-friendly non-Teflon versions of non-stick in the past, and they last me about 6 months, and then they're absolutely dead. They are useless. So yeah, that's the hill I'm gonna die on, I suppose. These are brilliant. I do wish they still sold this set. I really found it a struggle to buy this one. I basically got a large frying pan, a kind of medium saucepan, and something that sort of sits in between. And for one person in a van, that's a really ideal set. It seems now they want to sell you either all the saucepans or all the frying pans, but not a mixed set, which is annoying. But you can buy them individually as well, so that's an option. But yeah, the handle comes off. That had water in it. And sprayed me in the face. Yeah, and then you just attach that. Another great thing about these as well, because of that detachable handle, is you can use them in the oven. So these are not just my pans to go on the hob, they also go in the oven. I can bake cakes in them, I use them as baking dishes, roasting dishes, just everything. They're so versatile, and I'm afraid you won't change my mind, sorry. To go with these, I also bought a couple of universal lids. So this is a glass one with a silicone edge, and it's got different steps for different sized pans. That fits really nicely on the first two. This one is also just purely silicone. It's got like little lips for the steam to get out. This one works great on the largest one and the medium one. So I've always got 2 lids that will fit on 2 pans as well, because then I've got to buy fewer lids. Another space-saving favourite of mine, and actually I had these years, long before I had the van. This is the Joseph Nestin mixing bowl set. They do so much good space-saving stuff. I love this brand actually. So I've got a mixing bowl, I've got a colander, I've got a sieve that I accidentally partially melted once, and I've got a small mixing bowl and a lemon juicer. They also do another version that instead of the juicer you get cup measurements for cupcakes and stuff. If you're looking for kitchen stuff though, as a gift, check out the whole Joseph range. They have loads of like compact things, loads of like really useful, space-saving, cleverly designed kitchen items. They're a great little brand. Another brand worth checking out, especially if you've got like a micro camper and you need really small pots and pans. Sea to Summit is a brand that does some really cool like collapsible stuff. They do collapsible kettles, collapsible bowls, collapsible pans, all sorts. A lot of their range is just top-notch equipment. So if you're really pushed for space, check out the Sea to Summit collapsible range. If you're wondering what these were, by the way, in between my pans, it's just to kind of protect them in transit so they don't scratch on each other. So, like many people who live in a van, I take most of my showers at the gym, or a shower at a campsite or somewhere else, like not in the van. So I've got this little shower bag. Basically, it's just an attractive dry bag, which means all my stuff that's wet stays in the bag, not making my other stuff wet. But in here is some really useful stuff. So All of my toiletries I decant into these little silicone bottles. This makes it super easy to not take the whole massive bottle with me to the shower because it's heavy and cumbersome. I can just take what I need. Every month or so I top them up. Got my shampoo, conditioner, body gel. But the best part is this bag. So I think these are sold for like kids' toys in the bath, but they're really good if you're in a van and you want to take a shower anywhere else other than where you live. So I also bought these suction hooks. So you know how they go, you put them on the wall, you pull the thing down and it suctions on the wall. So I just hang this bag up in the shower with all of my bits and it's all there. I haven't got to like mess around on the floor or like, it's just so much easier. Not the most glamorous of gifts, but it's certainly practical. Also, towels. Towels are cumbersome, they take up a lot of space. So I bought a small one. This is Dock and Bay, and this is a full size, actually this is the extra large towel, but I did chop a bit off to use as my hand towel in the van. So this in its entirety is the extra large. And this, you know, it's pretty big, right? That certainly covers my modesty. And of course I bought it in colours to match the van because why wouldn't you? So these are really nice, the ones by Dock and Bay, but if you've got an adventure friend, Ordnance Survey also do camping towels with maps on, which are really cute. So you can buy one for the Highlands, for the Lake District, etc., different kind of areas. They are really cute. But yeah, any kind of camping towel or like space saving towel saves so much room in the van. Definitely a great gift. Because everything I take for a shower is in here. Like, that's a towel for my body, a towel for my hair, all of my toiletries. So ideal. Not sure what category this belongs in, but this is a boot buddy, and these are also really, really good if you've got friends who hike. Less of a van thing, more of an adventure thing, but if you know, when your front door is sometimes in the mud, this is useful. So basically, you fill it up with water from the end, you twist this, and water comes out of here with the brush, so you can basically just like hose down your boots and get all the mud off of them before you come into the van. And yeah, it's just really, really, really handy. This is definitely a bit more woman specific, but these little like bags that you just get little gift things in are really, really handy just for keeping things in storage that you don't move around too much. This bag is basically all of my makeup and skincare, and it's perfect because when you open it up, it sits open like this, so you can just access everything you need without having to like dig around. It is the perfect makeup bag and it's really portable, so it comes with me to the gym. Jewellery storage is one thing that I struggled with for a little while. This was one option. It's like a little travel case and you can put rings, earrings, and then behind the earrings you can put necklaces. Now I've stopped using it for a lot of items because I basically ran out of space. So now I have another pouch, and in here I've got a load of like little miniature plastic bags basically, and I keep things individually so they don't get tangled up in these little bags. Getting things tangled or not tangled is probably the biggest issue with jewellery. So yeah, those are my two options for that. My final little storage item is these, I think they're like suitcase organisers, but basically it's a zippered bag that's really, you know, just fabric. And I can section off things. I've got like all my short sleeve t-shirts in one, my long sleeve t-shirts in another, skirts in another, shirts in another, etc, etc, and it just is much easier to keep things that way when you have like larger compartments for your clothes. The specific link that I have for that one takes you to one where they're all the same size, which is the size that I have, which I found really useful. Most of the ones on the market, they sell you like the whole range of sizes because they're assuming that you're going to put it in a suitcase and you're going to want one for trousers, one for socks, one for your shoes. So having them all the same size has been better for me, so that's the one you'll find in the link. Something you really can't go wrong with in winter is blankets. So I have 1, 2, 3, actually 4, because this takes 2 to fill up the bed. 4 blankets on my bed, plus this one which I just like use to keep me warm. And I also have this really nice fur, like faux fur rug that I get a lot of compliments on. Anything like really cozy and warming, hot water bottles as well. You really can't have enough as long as you've got space to keep them. Obviously mine predominantly live on the bed, so that's fine for storage. But anything soft and fluffy and cozy, especially the like fleecy, quilted, teddy kind of ones, really, really good gift. And you can match the colour to the van. I also have this massive robe. I just found this in a charity shop, really luckily, but it's basically a massive, massive fluffy gown. It's not a dressing gown, it's supposed to be a cardigan, but it's many sizes too big for me. But when I get out of bed, I often have this in front of the diesel heater vent, getting warm, ready for when I get out of bed. So it's basically like my dressing gown, except I don't feel like I'm in a dressing gown. So a really large fluffy robe is another great gift idea. My final section of gift guide recommendations is techie stuff. So anything kind of electronic, I guess. Let's start with my hairdryer. I think of all of the like space saving useful things I've bought that's really reduced how much space it needs, this is probably the best. It's so small, it just pings out, and it whacks quite a punch. It packs quite a punch. It's a decent little hairdryer. It's by Nicky Clark. It is 1200 watts, so you need an inverter that can handle this. 1500 or 2000 should be fine. But yeah, super small, really good. Still dries my hair in like 5 minutes. Really good little bit of kit. Then I bought this a little while ago, and it's really cute and really cheap. It's a sunrise lamp. It's USB. Basically anything that you want to buy for someone in a van, unless you know they have a really good inverter, make sure it's USB. Plug this in and show you. So it comes on, and I don't know if you can see, yeah, like I got one on a little tripod, but there's different versions. So it's like creates this big like halo-y thing, and but if I put it over here, then you can see like that effect a bit better, I guess. But you can buy different like attachments for the base, and it comes with an app, so you can change the colour, which I'll show you. So hopefully you can see this on the screen, but I can basically change this to all different colours. And you can have it like on a special effect, I think, like a, yeah, for party time. And it has an alarm, so you can actually use this to wake up, not maybe to party mode, but something more calm. I haven't actually used that, so I can't recommend, but this is a really fun little gift. I don't know why it's on like red alert setting. Let's change that. Right, so I like it personally, and it's kind of like warm little sunrise version. But yeah, you can turn it on and off in the app as well. It comes with a remote control, but I found that that interferes with my Max Air fan, so I don't use the remote. But yeah, these are just cute and really cheap, and you can add all kinds of different fun coloured effects to your van. On that USB note, the dullest gift in the world, but if they've got an electric toothbrush, the Oral-B ones, you can actually buy a USB charger for them, which my friend recommended to me, and oh, so much easier, so much easier. And again, the dullest gift in the world, but these little silicone ties, so handy for not getting all your electronics and your cables all like tangled up. You just put it around one section, and then you just like wrap it round on itself through the little hole, pull it tight, and now all of your cables just live in bundles, and you don't have like a spaghetti mixture of cables. These are great, I love them. Right, if you've got a laptop, like, because who doesn't? This is not really van specific, but I get a lot of people asking me what it is and where it's from. I've got this laptop stand, you can adjust the height. My laptop sits on there, but it's really tiny, really space saving. A great little thing just to have around for your laptop. And one thing that I use quite a lot actually, because I work in the van on my laptop, is a second monitor. So this, it comes in the case that like has its own stand, so it just goes together like this, and I can have it that way. Or if I want to have it in portrait mode, I use my little stand and I put it on there, and then I've got that mode as well. Again, really slim, really space saving, barely takes up any more space than the laptop does. It's basically the same footprint, and a really, really good gift for somebody who's in a small space. I personally wouldn't want to go anywhere without some kind of a power bank, because you never know what might happen with your electrics, and if something does go belly up, this is basically my backup plan. If I have an electrical fault, this is my emergency. You know, I have my phone, I have lights, I've got all sorts of different USB chargeable things that if I'm really stuck, I have some kind of power if my mains goes off. So definitely recommend everyone has one of these if they don't already have one. And now we get into like the fun stuff. Okay, so a projector. I've got a projector screen that hangs up in front of my bulkhead so I can watch movies. You can also do it on the outside of the van in the summer unless you're really brave. This one's by Nebula. There's models out there to fit all budgets, and obviously, you know, you get what you pay for with a lot of these things. I think I managed to find this one second hand, which saved me some money because it's not a cheap one. But it is a really nice way to watch movies if you just don't want to look at a laptop. Adds that little bit of extra something. A Kindle was one of the first things that I got. Hello. Because books take up so much space. So yeah, a little Kindle is a really, really good gift. And make sure that you buy a case as well that, you know, matches the colour of the van, and make sure it's for the right model because the listings are really confusing for some reason. And if your friend or yourself or whoever you are buying gifts for is a budding vlogger, these are the cameras that I like. So I have the DJI Pocket 2. Now, they've recently released the Pocket 3, which I haven't had and I haven't tried, but I have heard it is phenomenal. I'd love to have one, but I don't have one. So if anybody wants to get me one of those for Christmas, actually no, what I really want is a drone. Haven't got one of those yet. But if I did, I'd probably also go DJI. The camera that I'm filming on right now is also a DJI. It's the Osmo Action 1. I think they've just released the 5. So like my tech is really behind, but this kit is really good. So even the older models are still like pretty decent. And it's like a really small, it's basically like a GoPro but a different brand. And these little like small cameras are just so good for taking in your pocket and doing your vlogging wherever you are. So much easier than a massive clunky DSLR. So if anybody wants to get into the videographer world, I really recommend the whole DJI range of different cameras. You've got the Action one, which you can go underwater with. You've got this one, which like it has this little gimbal. It's like a little robot, and you can move the camera and it stays like level. It's really, really smart. And you can have it like facing towards you, facing away from you. You can have it lock onto your face and follow you around. Like it's really, really clever kit. So yeah, get the 3 though, because oh my god, it looks insane. So I think that concludes Jodie's Ultimate Van Life Gift Guide. I hope you found something in here that's useful. Like I've said before, I will put a link to all of these things in the description. I'll also put a link up here to the website that I've built, where I've got all of these items as well as lots of other stuff that I've put into the van build. So if you're in the build stage, have a look at this list. There might be some stuff in there that saves you a lot of time shopping, because I spent God knows how many days just browsing the internet trying to find the right everything for this van. So that saves you some time. Go check it out. And if you have any questions about anything, pop a comment below and I'll get back to you when I can. Bye!